versus Kid.
Yeah, Law versus Kaido, man.
Okay.
All right, do you want to start? Would you like me to start?
You can start if you want.
Oh, sure. So we have do you know that Kaido and Big Mom are at minimum equal?
That Kaido and Big Mom are minimum equal. Why?
They went relative and they were trying to kill each other to the point where they called it a stalemate because they felt that they couldn't kill each other in that moment.
Yeah, can you send the scans for that?
Bro, is he trolling? Wait, okay, can somebody send the scan of Big Mom versus Kaido when they're about to kill each other, like on Onigashima?
Okay, and do you think this is indicative of them going all out, or like?
Well, if they're explicitly saying they're going to kill each other and the fight lasted for days, yes, there's reason to believe they're going all out, right? Because they know that they're some of the strongest opponents in the world. And if they win, then they gain quite a bit, right? And the fact that they're explicitly saying they want to kill each other. So all those factors combined do give me reason to believe they are trying
Here's
to
my
go all out
question.
and kill each other.
For like going all out, don't you think it would be expected for Kaido to be using his hybrid?
The thing is, we don't know. I actually do think that's expected. We only saw the very, very first clash in that fight, and all we know is 3 days later the fight ended. So I actually do expect that. So
Okay, so you're saying that since we only saw like the first clash, we just
yeah.
don't know whether or not Kaido used his hybrid form?
Well, yeah,
Okay,
I'm
but
saying
there's
we don't see. I'm saying we don't
that.
see that, but if they are trying to kill each other, and the fight drags on for 3 days, there is reason to believe they went all out, right? There's motive. There's explicit indication where they're saying explicitly again, like they want to kill each other. So there is reason to believe they are giving it their best try.
Okay, here's the thing though. You're just saying that we don't know whether or not Kaido was using his hybrid form. It's just expected that he would because you think that it's more likely that he's going all out. But if he was going all out, why
Yeah.
would he go all out from the start? Because do you think that he doesn't have that motive from the start or something?
When you say start, oh sorry, be clear. What do you mean when you say start?
Wait, so
You're
the
saying
first clash, Beta
the very
agreed
first
the
clash?
first clash, like Kaido like wasn't using his hybrid form, right? But if he had the motive to go all out in
Yeah.
that moment, why wouldn't he just use his hybrid form then? And then you said, oh well, if there's some of the strongest opponents in the verse and they're trying to
Well, no,
kill.
no. Let me address that first question. You're literally just posing multiple opposition. Let me. So with the first clash,
Okay.
I don't know that he had time to even activate his hybrid form. I think we literally just see the clash and that's it. So can you
Wait,
tell me
how do we
like how
know it
much?
takes time for him to activate his form? Like, is it ever shown that?
Huh? Are you saying it
Wait,
takes
wait,
no
wait,
time for him to transform?
yeah, obviously it takes time for him to turn on his
Okay.
form. What I mean by that, like, are you implying that it would take like some type of like decently long period of time, like a
It
couple of.
could. It could. It very well could. That's why I'm saying we don't know if he had time in that initial clash because we only see the very first clash they have. If Big Mom allowed him to transform if they're trying to kill each other, right? Because just as easily as you're posing that he would transform immediately, it would be in Big Mom's interest to not allow him to immediately transform. So she may be trying just as hard to stop him from transforming. There's equal reason as to why she wouldn't allow him to do that as to why he would want to do that. So one, we don't know if he had the time and was comfortable enough to transform, then attack Big Mom. And two, she also would do the opposite of what you're saying.
Okay, Geass, here's the thing. My problem with that is if we don't even know like whether or not it takes a decently like long amount of prolonged time for Kaido to actually transform. Like maybe
Hmm.
it might be in Big Mom's interest, but we don't even know if Big Mom like is capable of stopping him from transforming immediately. So why would we
Yeah,
factor
but
in like a variable like that? Like even if you're not like asserting anything, like why would we factor in those variables?
because all we're assessing is the desire to do X, right? So I agree with you. I don't have some like direct computation for how long it takes Kaido to transform, but we do know it takes him some time, right? So if all we're assessing is their motive here, right, which is Kaido might want to transform in that immediate sense, but Big Mom also would try to stop him because that's in her best motive. Um, and also we don't know how long it takes him, so he may not have been able to get that off then I'm just saying there are multiple reasons that detract from this hypothesis, right? You're just saying he would do this in the scenario because it makes sense. I'm simply saying it might make sense if there were no other conditions, but there are, right? I'm just assessing those other conditions.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Those attraction variables might be there, and we might not necessarily know them, but what we do know is that it is consistently like showing when Kaido does like use his hybrid form that he's able to like get it off immediately when he wants to use it. So even if we don't know the
What's
actual
the
time frame,
what's the distance between him and his opponents when he does that? Is he comfortably away? And can you quantify those with respect to how close? Which he was right next to Big Mom when they clashed. So can you show that he's in immediate danger and feels he can get it off, and that his opponents aren't some distance away?
okay, wait, I'd have to check. Like, I think that
Because in the
I
other
think he's
scenarios
close
you're
to Luffy.
describing, it's usually some
Yeah.
dialogue and there's some distance away. They're not directly in front of him like Big Mom was.
Wait, but he was close to Luffy, was he not?
You have to like describe. That's like so vague. I couldn't even respond. You have
Vague.
to actually show
Okay,
me the
mean by
scenario.
close is like I'm
No,
using
no, it's vague. And when you say he's close to Luffy, I don't know when you're talking about. When are you talking about? It's like any number of scenarios, but I don't know which one you're talking about.
Wait, I'm talking about when he first like starts
Yeah, just
fighting him.
show what you're talking. I'm not gonna know
Yeah,
just
okay.
off like a
Hold up.
vague description. I don't know.
Okay. Does anybody have like the scans of when like base Luffy first starts fighting hybrid Kaido?
No, nigga.
You mean like when he uppercuts him?
Yeah, I'm talking about like with advanced conquerors as well. Does
Yeah, that
anybody
was
have
when
the
he
scans of
that's
that?
when he uppercutted him.
Oh yeah, okay, so do you have that? The chapter, please.
So the only
It's
problem
10-10.
the
It's chapter
chapter is
10.
10. Yeah,
Oh,
the
10
chapter is
10? Okay.
10.
Hold
Yeah.
up.
It's page 13.
Never really. No.
Grrr. I'm lying.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I'm a dickhead. I gotta start doing
No, wrong one.
Hey, who like chicken wings, bro?
Why do I keep double clicking?
Bro, my mom making chicken right now.
What kind?
I'm gonna go check. Hold up.
All right. Okay, they sent me something.
Damn, that bitch from
Oh,
Marvel
thanks, chicken.
Rivals got a fat ass, bro.
Okay, Geass, forget what I said about the Luffy thing, but what we do know is that the other
Oh,
supernovas were consistently like pressing Kaido from, and what I mean by close, because you said that I was being vague. What I mean is
yeah.
like
Wait. Oh,
close
sorry.
in
The
the
other
sense where you
who?
can fight somebody in like close range combat, like you can hit them like with punches, kicks, like that's what I mean by close. I don't mean like
So
directly
he
on their
gets up
ass.
his
It's the same
trans.
thing with
He
Big
gets
Mom.
this trans. Okay, he gets this transformation off before they tag him or something.
We know they were like beating him up in weaker forms like Dragon and Base form. So what reason do we have to believe that they would just stop like hitting him, even though that's what they were consistently doing? That just seems to be like way less likely. If this is what they were
Wait, I'm
consistently.
not really understanding your argument. One, I there was part of it I missed, but can you just repeat what you're actually trying to say?
Yeah, okay, I'll repeat what I was trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that if they're consistently like pressing Kaido from like a close distance, and what I mean by like close is close in the sense where you can like punch and kick somebody like without like any normal powers, just like what a boxer is like able to do, right? And that's the same thing with Big Mom. Because you're saying that Big Mom and Kaido are close here. You're saying I'm being vague, but
What do you mean press? Like I'm not clear on that.
you're not clear on what?
Press. You said they pressed him?
Okay, yeah, wait. What I mean by press is that they were just like damaging him. Like they were just on his ass. Like I don't mean like they showed like relativity. That's not what I'm implying.
Okay. Who's doing this?
Well, who's doing this? The supernovas.
Okay. So the actual claim I'm trying to I guess address is that there's a question of whether he can get his transformation off before they attack him, right? Does any of this show that he has the speed to get this transformation off before he's attacked? From
Wait,
some
you're,
relative distance to where Big Mom was at, which was like right in front of him.
wait. I think that it would show that he has the speed to do it.
Okay, but how? How are you showing that?
Yeah, the reason why I'm showing this is because like
No, not why. Like, what's the demonstration? How are you showing this?
how am I showing this? Because they're damaging him, and then like when they're damaging him, he's still able to get the form off. Like he's not distracted from the damage. Like presumably, like I'm assuming that's what you mean by Big Mom potentially like stopping him from transforming, right? This just like Big Mom
Okay,
like
wait.
using her
Can
ability
you
to
show what you're?
Wait, you
Just
guys
show
maybe
the.
need.
something else, and you can
Yeah, just
clarify.
show the scan you're talking about. I'm not
Wait, wait,
clear
wait,
on what
wait, wait, wait.
scenario.
You guys want
Yeah,
the
it's multiple
chapter
scans.
that he
Okay, let me see.
actually transformed into hybrid? Like,
Yeah, sure. He can get those.
Okay.
But I have a question after you get them.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. So at the end of 10:03, he actually goes hybrid form.
Let's
Okay.
see these runes.
Like, you guys are just arguing about the speed in which he can go hybrid form right now.
Yes, yeah. They might need to catch
Alright.
up on One Piece. I might do that shit. I have some time today. I'll read.
I think the best. I don't. I don't know if I should say. I don't know.
No, if he hasn't brought up the scenario, no, just
Yeah, yeah. I won't. Y'all are talking about supernova. So
okay. Where Isaac? Where are you like referring to?
I'm referring to Rooftop, like where the supernovas by like what I mean by that is Kid Law, Luffy, Zoro, and Killer are like consistently like damaging Kaido. Even if it's like minuscule damage, it's still like they're damaging him, right? And then
Okay, wait,
basically,
no, like more like where, like what scenario? I want to see what kind of the scans.
okay, what scenario? I'm just talking about like that general fight. Like I can
Okay,
show
wait,
you
is
like
there like an
that fight if you
instance,
want.
that I'm not, I know the scenario you're talking, I mean like the actual instantiation of the point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not using a specific instance, but I can send 8 instances, like just to give you a better scope if you want,
Okay, okay.
or an instance. I mean, let's go.
but aren't you trying to argue the speed of the hybrid? What
Yeah,
did
how are you showing me like the
like? How does
supernova
this?
fight instantiate the point that he can get the speed off faster than he can be attacked at some relative distance?
Okay, wait. So what I'm
I'm kind of
saying is
looking for a demonstration or
that
a feat. You just saying that it's true isn't really a demonstration.
yeah, but here's the thing though, like I'm not like necessarily trying to prove the speed. What I am trying to prove is that like we might not know the speed, but he can like consistently do this. So even if like we don't particularly know like what speed he does it at, like in similar situations he's able to do it. Like in this situation and also
Okay. So
yeah, just
where?
fighting Luffy in Gear 5, like in close quarter situations where like he's getting pressed, he's able to turn on the higher reform. So even if we don't know the speed, yeah, sure the speed is a variable into it, right? But that variable would just be like included within
Okay,
my.
wait, no, I get what you're saying, but can you show me like the actual instance? Like I don't.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
Oh my days. Yes. Oh, and yes.
What's up, man?
Can we hear a roar from you real quick?
No.
Can we mute Karan, please?
Wait, chill out. Chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out.
I gotta chill after this. I need to eat some. Shit. Oh shit! I gotta drink some water too. Shit.
So you need some water.
I mean, shit. When you at the peak of your abilities, yeah, you need some water.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh
Bro,
shit!
can somebody get him the scan or something? I'm not trying to
Forgot I had to
What
say
see.
stuff.
what scan does he want?
He said in the rooftop fight, there was some point Kaido transformed before the supernovas could hit him.
That was into full form, I think.
Yeah, I remember full form.
Yeah, it wasn't hybrid.
Okay, yeah, I know that it wasn't hybrid, but the way that I addressed this was saying that even if it's not hybrid, if they're still consistently doing this to Kaido, then it would be ideal that they would do
And
this
it
to Kaido before like hybrid. So this would
and then
show that,
too in some of those scenarios, he was trying to take their attacks,
Okay,
like
so this is
actively asking them to slash him in like the chest.
this is what he's talking about. At the end of 1001, Luffy,
Yeah.
Kid,
yeah,
and Law
even if he's
hit their combo.
like, and I guess you're gonna say that he's not gonna do that because he would be turning on the form.
I
Wait,
don't have
hold on.
pick
Let
perms.
Some
Baka send.
scenarios,
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't,
scenarios,
I
Let me
don't, I
upgrade
don't
you.
have pick perms. I don't have pick
I
perms.
got you.
yeah, but I just gotta ask you a question. By some scenarios, which
Wait, hold on.
scenario?
Let Baka send what he's sending, then you go ahead. I just want to actually
Yeah, I
see
guess
what you're
you
talking about. I'm still not even clear on what you like, what instance
Right,
you're
so
talking about.
this is the end of 1001, and then from this point till 1003, he stays in his full form, so he doesn't transform again until not full form, but his full dragon form. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, let me just send them in small chat.
Uh,
In general.
he takes the attacks
okay,
from
wait,
Luffy,
no, to be
Kid.
clear, no, to be clear, he transforms while he's in the ground after they hit him, right? They're
Yeah.
not continuously attacking him. He gets a break. So this isn't what I'm talking about. This doesn't even show speed.
Wait, so you're telling me he just gets a break? They don't like continuously attack him?
Yeah, no, literally in the second scan, Bakusen, you can see Law like throws the rubble at him. And then after that, he's just in the ground, and then Big Mom's laughing and shit, and he pops out transformed. That's not a
Yeah, but
speed feat. That's just him in the ground with for some unknown time, and then re-emerging in his full transformation.
okay, dude. Here's the thing, though. I didn't say that it was a speed feed. I just said that like he was getting pressed, like in terms of him getting damaged, and then you said that there are breaks. Well, like I can interpret that as it just being like since it's a shonen manga, like just being breaks for dialogue. Like for example, we see this in like
Yeah.
something like Dragon Ball. Like when somebody's like getting attacked or whatever, there might be a like small break for a piece of dialogue, right? But that doesn't mean that like they're not like getting damaged when the
I'm
dialogue
not.
like is present. You know?
Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't get damaged. I'm simply saying there's a time period where we see the rubble that's on top of him like sink, and then there's a bunch of laughing.
Okay.
He transforms at some point in between there and then reemerges, right? So he's
Yeah,
not
wait,
actively
let me
wait,
just
stop. He's not actively being attacked while he transforms. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you brought up the
Yes.
fact that he's not actively being attacked like before he transforms. I feel like you're not like understanding my argument. I know that we don't particularly see that instance to know if he was getting attacked before he was getting transformed. I'm just saying, based on the prior instances, it's going to be more likely. Even if we didn't see that, but in the prior instances, sure, it could be the case that like Kaido isn't like really transforming. But I'm just still saying that as like they're pressing Kaido, so like why would they stop pressing Kaido just because he's transforming? And then you said, well, this isn't like necessarily a speed feed.
Why would they stop?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that last part. You might have been talking while I was, but
Yeah, I said
that
that you
last
also.
part of why he's transforming or why they would stop.
Yeah, wait.
I don't know why they stop, but we literally see them stop. It doesn't matter why we see them stop. We see in the second panel, Law like sends the rubble at him. Then he's in the ground. We see the ground not moving, and then he like Big Mom laughs and he reemerges, right? So it actually doesn't matter why they stopped. We just know they did. That's my entire point.
Okay, but one thing that like I'm confused about is how is them stopping like defeat the point that like he's consistently getting pressed in terms of damage, by the way, because you keep bringing up speed.
That
It's
doesn't
like,
matter. It's not relevant to the point. The point is whether we can see if he's able to transform before an opponent attacks him, whether he's comfortable doing that and has the ability to do so, right? Here we don't see that because they already attacked him and then he transforms after they stop, right? So that's not proving the point. That's not showing that in the instance we provided earlier, there's a demonstration of the speed of when they're going to attack him and him transforming before that occurs. So that point is just not proven. So the earlier point you gave of how does this why would he not be going all out and why would he not transform in this fight isn't proven because we don't know that he can, and there's a number of reasons why he would not be able to. That's the whole point.
okay, wait,
Can I ask,
I get what you're
can I ask
saying.
a question real quick as the judge?
Can we move on after this? Yeah.
Well, maybe, but yeah, if he agrees. But I just want to ask Isaac a question about his argument.
Yeah, what is it?
Okay. Yeah, so at 5:24 p.m., the scan you sent there in chat, are you saying with this that Kaido is shown to like transform before other people can attack him?
Wait,
So because
no,
of
okay.
because of that, the Scabbards, if they attacked Kaido again, even if it was in hybrid form, he would probably just transform off of that. You're just making the induction. They attack him. He transforms before they can even attack him. Because
Yeah,
of that,
making the induction.
if it happened again with hybrid, the same thing would probably happen.
Yeah, wait, I'm making the induction, but what I'm making the induction off of is basically the fact that Kaido consistently gets pressed. So like it would be ideal for them to press Kaido in a situation where like Kaido was about to like change into hybrid, right? So if it's ideal for them to do this, it's probably the case that they would attempt to do it. And since we know that didn't succeed because Kaido turns into hybrid, it's just more likely to be the case that they didn't succeed in achieving this said goal. And then Geass, like how he tried attacking that is saying, well, this isn't when
Wait,
he's
no, you don't need to
transformed.
tell me how he tried
Fine.
attacking it. I was just asking a question about your argument. You can move on
Yeah, okay,
after
that's
this.
fine. We can move on from
Let
this
me.
one.
Yeah. Wait. Actually, I do have a one quick response.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with you. They may attempt to do this, right? But the difference is, he's fighting Big Mom, who's much, much more powerful than these people, compared to these like pre-transformed Gear 4, Luffy, Unawakened Law, and Unawakened Kid, right? So just saying, well, they even if he did get attacked by them, and let's just say he was able to get the transformation off, he may not care about these people attacking him. There's multiple points in the fight where he invites them to actively scar him and attack him. So it's not the same caliber of opponent as far as their AP as well.
Okay, Geass, for the first thing, like, why does Big Mom being more powerful mean that she's going to be faster? Like, even if I do grant
That
more
wasn't relevant to
powerful,
the.
people would do
Okay.
that. And then also, like, the second thing that you said, you basically said that like Kaido wasn't taking them serious at some points and like letting them like hit them. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? So then it just
Yeah, he
wouldn't be
did do that.
speed at all.
Well, no. It's not a comment
Yeah.
on speed. It's a comment on relative damage, right? So he may be willing to take the risk in the case that these, let's just say for some reason he was able to get the transformation off. He may be able to take the risk, even if I grant the last point, that these
Geass,
guys can
here's
attack
another-
him. Wait, stop. That these guys can attack him. But it wouldn't be anywhere near as powerful as Big Mom, right? So he may take the gamble in this case, but in the other scenario with Big Mom, he may not be willing to do so, right? So it's just an AP difference saying if one person can do massive damage to me, I'm not willing to try and transform in front of them versus these guys who he actively allows to hit him multiple times in the fight, meaning there's a discrepancy in their AP, right? So
Wait, dude, I hate to cut you off, but like, can we postpone because I really gotta go?
okay, that's all right. We can get judgment on this point. All right, let's get it.
Okay.
Alright, does someone else want to give judgment first, or should I just give it first? I have a judgment ready.
Yeah, I think Isaac.
Oh, Baka, you can give judgment. Haram, you can give judgment.
Performance. Okay, I'll just give mine first. I wrote down my notes. Pretty much, Geass wins. No difficulty. Performance-wise, Geass wins. No difficulty.
I know this is crazy.
Can you go ahead and explain that judgment?
Okay. How do you want me to explain it? Like, do you want like a full explanation or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Geass says that Kaido and Big Mom are relative because they're fighting each other for 3 days and they want to kill each other. And Isaac's like, we see him in his base form. Do you know if he transforms? As Geass is like, we don't see it, but he probably does transform. I mean, I would expect him to transform because they haven't been, because, you know, they're fighting for 3 days and they're trying to kill each other. Obviously, using the form is going to make you stronger, yada yada. They talk about instances on if Kaido can actually transform or not. And Geass kind of just debunks everything Isaac says. Isaac brings up examples from other people that aren't necessarily as strong as Big Mom. Like, he even says Big Mom is stronger, so Kaido might be willing to transform against these other people who are weaker, but not transform against, like, Big Mom because Big Mom's stronger and she could, like, I don't know, hurt him really badly if he tried to go for a transformation. And he also just debunked the scans themselves of, like, the transformations by just saying, like, the scabbards don't even, like, pressure Kaido and then he transforms while they're damaging him. He gets a break and then he just transforms. So, yeah, I mean, the point just goes through and then, like, Kaido and Big Mom are just relative. They fight each other for 3 days and they live.
All right. So, okay, good logic. I'll fuck with it.
Yeah, Geass definitely got that point. Dude wasn't
Amen.
really arguing his
And then we
point
woke up.
well. The funny thing is, literally, I mean, you could argue it's a stronger Kaido, but he literally does instantly. That's what I found when I was like looking. But in 1037, he literally instantly goes into like hybrid. So, like, that guy just doesn't know.
Man, he going beast mode. Good, going X Games. Oh shit, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he found that, he would have got the point, but he ain't even find that. So he brought that up or
No, I
said
would have
that.
downscaled the fuck out of this. This is Gear 4, Luffy.
Yo,
Who's the
Geass.
third guy?
Hell no.
Wait,
No,
who's
it's
the,
not
who's
even a
the
gear
third guy,
form.
by
Yo,
the way,
Geass.
who's
Yo,
judging?
Geass. Haram
Oh,
just
is
said
it
he
base
beat you in One
Luffy?
Piece.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. No, this is base Luffy. Yeah, hell no, I would have downscaled it.
Wait, Geass, Haram. Yo, Geass. Haram just said he beat you.